It's definitely time for the parkas with hoodies lined with fur. Now and into the weekend, 20 million people facing the coldest air yet this season. On the way, find out when temperatures where you live will plunge to the danger zone.
Plus, snow to start your Friday in parts of the South, but by next week, some of you could face ice. Just ahead, when will we see your next winter storm named? But if you're sick of winter,
there are so many seeds out there just waiting to sprout, just waiting to grow.
Signs of spring, where wildflowers are in bloom, and the weather that's helping them grow. It's all right here and now on Weather Center Live. And welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Bonnie Schneider. Valentine's Day weekend, well, it may be just a few hours away, but there's nothing sweet about the weather you're going to face this holiday.
Yeah, dangerous cold will blast through much of the eastern half of the country. And
this is how cold we're talking.
Yeah.
The kind of cold where you can throw boiling water, hot water, the side of a building on the Twin Cities and it turns into a cloud. Now, you'll be lucky to break out of the single digits today in Minneapolis. And we're going to track the cold in Minneapolis, but Dave wants to show us where the snow is falling all the way to the mid-Atlantic coast. Dave?
Yeah, we've got it. I'll tell you, it's so cold it's snowing in North Carolina, where there are palm trees and beach houses. We've got some snow falling right in here, and it's coming down hard where it is snowing. Temperatures are in the 20s, so it is sticking. This cold air deep into the Tar Heel State. Here's where your heaviest snow is now from Wilson, North Carolina, eastward all the way to Manteo and Rodanthe out here on the Outer Banks. Cape Hatteras 34 and raining, but north of there it is snowing. Snowing at Virginia Beach, snow moving into Norfolk over the next hour if it isn't already snowing at your place. And we expect accumulations in some spots could top 3 or 4 inches before this ends shortly after sunset here tonight. It's a quick hitter, going, and gone. But that's a big deal. You know, here in the mountains of North Carolina, it's been snowing all day, and it'll continue to snow here tonight. But this is a feature that has nothing to do with rising air in the mountains. Just low pressure moving off to the northeast, make that the east. Norfolk gets in on the snow shortly, and that'll last for a couple of hours. We could pick up a dusting and maybe some black ice on bridges and overpasses. Be careful here. Now, that's a mini storm, one little state. Let's talk big. Let's expand it. Here's Carl Parker in the lab.
Dave, we've actually got a couple of storms that we're watching for the weekend. One is going to be a more minor system coming down through the Midwest. The second one is going to have a much broader impact in parts of the Southeast and then eventually in the Northeast. And first of all, that clipper that comes down into the Midwest, it's going to be, again, a weaker system that will dig on in, and we expect to see some moisture drawn northward along with that. So that will set the stage for mostly lighter snow developing in the northern plains tomorrow and then coming down into the western lakes going into late tomorrow. You see it spreading there through parts of Minnesota and also into Iowa there, and then getting over into Chicago very late on Saturday and into Sunday. And we'll see a little bit of a mix here, we think, around the Ozarks and southern parts of Missouri as well. So here's a look at the snowfall totals. A pretty broad area of 1 to 3, but then within that, an area of 3 to 5 inches in southwestern western Minnesota and also northeastern Iowa down through Cedar Rapids and the Quad Cities. But then the second disturbance is going to move in Sunday night, and that one is going to be a lot more vigorous. So along with that, we will see low pressure developing and really getting strong between Sunday night and Tuesday. So as we go into Monday, Tuesday here, we're going to watch plenty of moisture being drawn up and interacting with colder air. It is going to be a little milder, especially right along the East Coast. We talked about this yesterday. So while we may start with wintry weather along the 95 corridor, we're going to end up getting rain. There is Sunday night, and we see a little bit of a mix breaking out around the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys, as well as into North Georgia. The models are not particularly excited about the idea of wintry weather in North Georgia or in South Carolina. There's a lot of question as to just how much cold air is going to be available and how quickly that cold air is going to be eroded. But certainly there's going to be freezing rain, we think, up through the 81 corridor, a lot of North Carolina, a lot of Virginia, Here we go into Monday night. Could be some more significant icing along the 81 corridor. And there's a look at the potential for icing that also extends back across 64 and right across I-40 and parts of 85 as well. And then on Tuesday, here's the warming I was talking about right there, coming up through 95. Well, we still see some wintry weather in interior parts of the Northeast. So a lot of weather over the next few days here. Bonnie, over to you.
Thanks, Carl. One place we have certainty where it's very cold is the Midwest. Even right now, temperatures are cold, but you haven't seen anything yet. They're going to plummet tonight, and that's why we have wind chill advisories in place for this evening. In Chicago right now, it's 20 degrees, but the cold air is coming. Your forecasted high, 13. That's it. That's as hot, as cold as it will get, really. And then for Sunday, for Valentine's Day, not much of a warm up. Cincinnati, you're in the 20s, right at freezing in St. Louis. Omaha, a little bit better at 41 degrees. But tomorrow morning, the coldest air of the season. -2 in Chicago. So negative numbers, feeling even colder than that. And by the time we get to Sunday morning, we'll look at a temperature above the negative numbers, but not by much. And President's Day still also looking quite cold in the morning hours. So let's break it down for the forecast for Chicago, for example. 13 degrees tomorrow, then 22 on Valentine's Day. Finally, a little bit above freezing on President's Day, 37. And we'll start to see that a little bit getting closer to normal, but not quite. We're right at an average of 34, so we're way below normal for the weekend. Notice the low temperatures right at 19. That's the average, again, below that. And for Cincinnati, we're going to see the cold weather continue. Look at tomorrow's high in Cincinnati, Dave, a mere 15 degrees. You know that doesn't happen often.
No, and fortunately, it doesn't happen often. You know, the bitter cold has only begun, and on the way, dangerous cold, where wind chills have plunged well below zero, and the timeline for that dangerous cold in the Northeast. Plus, where's the snow? You're not finding much in a place where you expect to see it. What a lack of snow means for a famous race in Alaska.
At Safelite, we know how busy your life can be.
Oh, no.
This mom didn't have time to worry about a cracked windshield, so she scheduled at Safelite.com. And with Safelite's exclusive On My Way text, she knew exactly when I'd be there. Hi, Steve with Safelite.
Thanks for your text.
I replaced her windshield, and she didn't miss a single shot, giving you more time for what matters most. How'd you do?
We won.
Nice. That's another Safelite advantage.
So much.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
When you've got a house full of guests on the way and a cold with sinus pressure, you need fast relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus Severe Sinus Congestion and Cough Liquid Gels rush relief to your tough symptoms to put you back in control.
Coming.
Alka-Seltzer Plus Sinus.
I'm Andy, and I lost 30 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Listen up, guys. Want to shed a few pounds? Got a beer belly going on? Can't fit into your pants? I got one word for you, Nutrisystem.
I'm Essex, and I lost 43 pounds on Nutrisystem.
I'm Trevor, and I lost 60 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's all-new Turbo 10. You can lose weight, too. Real guys, real results.
I'm Michael, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Put down the pie, pick up the phone, and get with the program today. Lose up to 10 pounds in your first month and 5 inches overall. You'll love it. Money back guaranteed.
The food was delicious.
If you're like me and you like to eat, this is what you get to do.
This is perfect for men, especially guys who don't want to cook.
So get off the couch and order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now. Get 1 week of all-new Turbo Shakes free and 1 week of NutriCrush Shakes free.
It's not that hard. You eat the food, you lose the weight.
Call 877-580-THIN and get the all-new Turbo 10 with 14 shakes free.
Blizzard of 1978, the one moment that made me a weather geek. I mean, I just loved weather. I remember that night hearing all the warnings, oh, blizzard coming, a lot of snow, blah, blah, blah. Looking at my front window, nothing. Go to bed, wake up the next morning, poof, talking close to 2 feet of snow. Wow. I was hooked ever since.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 53, winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny skies, high 71, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low 56, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When the going gets tough, the tough keep pulling.
All new episodes of Highway Through Hell, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Today, my mom has a cell phone she actually enjoys using, the Jitterbug. It's so easy to use. It has big buttons and a powerful speaker.
And with Great Call's exclusive 5-star service, one touch and you'll be immediately connected to 5-star agents who can confirm your location and get you the help you need.
Service starts at just $14.99 a month. Buy a Jitterbug today and you can get twice the monthly minutes for life at Best Buy, Rite Aid, or Sears.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you are on Medicare and struggling to afford the out-of-pocket costs, there is coverage available that includes dental, vision, and prescription drugs. There are benefits with 0 copays and 0 deductibles. You are allowed to update your coverage. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now. If you have Medicare Part A, B, or a Medicare Advantage plan, call the Medicare Coverage Helpline to update your coverage. Free call, free advice, no obligation.
You may be taking new medications or need dental or vision care, or the copays and deductibles are hard to afford. All of this is costing you more than you thought it would. There is a solution. You can call and update your coverage. The call and the advice are free. Call now.
The Medicare Coverage Helpline. Free call, free advice, no obligation. Make sure you have all you deserve and update your coverage. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call 800-909-4420. That's 800-909-4420. 800-909-4420.
Well, as if it hasn't been cold enough already, get ready for another dangerous cold blast in the Northeast. Boston's mayor has already issued cold safety tips.
And in New York, officials have canceled the annual Central Park Ice Festival due to extreme cold. Reagan Medji has more.
If you stepped outside in the Northeast today, you might have noticed it's really cold, but this weekend, it's going to be dangerously cold. We're here in New York City. We'll give you a beautiful shot of the skyline, and looks are deceiving because it is chilly right now. The highs today in the New York City area in the upper 20s, but all the way through Saturday and all the way through Sunday, we're looking at dangerous cold. Wind gusts 40 miles an hour, and then that wind chill 20 to 25 degrees below zero. Some people say they're already prepping for this cold.
A lot of layers, and we'll see what happens, but we still have to walk him a couple times a day, so we'll be out in the cold bearing it.
So you'll be out in the cold bearing it with lots of layers. Well, Ollie, well,
he's got enough layers on.
Well, it's going to be dangerously cold this weekend. A lot of eyes are focused on Sunday, when the low is going to be anywhere between 1 and 3 degrees. If you're heading outside, you definitely want to layer up and don't stay out for too long. Back to you.
Thanks, Reagan. Well, good advice there. It is going to be brutally cold in the Northeast. I know we're used to cold, especially New England, but this is a lot to take in. So wind chill warnings, many of these actually begin on Saturday, but it's going to get cold starting tonight. The wind chill advisory for Pittsburgh tonight, and we'll be watching for New York as well. Wind chill warning even more severe. It's going to feel like it's negative 20 or more in some places. Some parts of upstate New York will feel like it's negative 30. I don't know how much of a difference that feels like between negative 20 and negative 30, but dangerous for sure. Right now, it's in the teens and 20s in the Northeast. There's that Arctic plunge, the polar vortex just plunging further to the south. That's why a good portion of the eastern U.S. from the Great Lakes even into the deep south will feel this cold, but especially in the Northeast, where the heart of it will sit for at least through much of Valentine's Day. Not really the best timing there. Tomorrow morning, waking up to negative numbers in Syracuse as well as Pittsburgh, down to negative 8 there. And we'll be looking for negative 3 in New York City by Sunday morning, your Valentine's Day. Hopefully you'll be celebrating indoors, maybe by a fireplace, because temperatures are going to stay very cold through Sunday. Sunday morning being some of the coldest air that we're going to see through the season. This is the forecast wind chill of what it feels like. Dave?
You know, it's been 22 years since we've had a temperature drop to or below zero in New York City. 22 years back in January of 1994. Well, we're forecasting something that's going to come awfully close. 4 degrees is our forecast low on Sunday morning. Here's the timing. We're taking Boston. Temperatures are, well, they're cold now, but at least the wind's not blowing like it was yesterday. Temperatures are going to fall a little bit tonight, but we're going to have southwest winds, so it's not going to be all that cold. Here's what it looks like tomorrow morning. So just a few degrees cooler than it is right now. But tomorrow night into Sunday morning, this is the big deal. 2 below zero when you wake up on Valentine's Day, 8 below in Worcester and 10 below in Keene, New Hampshire, 5 in Chatham, Massachusetts. There's your serious cold, and you better be careful, my friend, because it's coming. Not only Boston, New York City, Philly, Washington, more coming up next.
What do you think?
I can see you and me walking hand in hand through the park.
Good morning.
In the park.
Attention shoppers, there's a lost couple in the men's department.
There's a great big unkhaki world out there. Explore it in a Subaru Crosstrek. Look, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Is your body storing fat more easily? Do you suffer from a lack of energy? Or the draining side effects of restless sleep? How about an increase in wrinkles and even sagging skin?
Hi, I'm Kim Douglas, and as a beauty expert always on the hunt for the next great breakthrough, when I heard about a youth hormone that was associated with reducing body fat, increasing lean muscle mass, and even reducing the appearance of wrinkles, I just had to learn more. I'm talking about human growth hormone, or HGH, and as early as our mid-20s, our natural production of HGH begins to drop dramatically. Here's the good news. Finally, there's Serovital.
Serovital is the first and only amino acid complex shown in a clinical trial to trigger the body's own natural release of HGH from the pituitary gland and increase mean HGH levels by an astonishing 682%.
HGH has been associated with reducing body fat, reducing the appearance of wrinkles, improving sleep, and even boosting energy. As a doctor and a woman, I am very excited that now I can tell women everywhere about Serovital.
Serovital boosts your HGH naturally and at a fraction of the cost of painful injections. Serovital sells for $99 in stores. But call right now because we're letting as many women as possible try Serovital for 30 days absolutely risk-free. Plus, call in the next 6 minutes and we'll also include free shipping. You owe it to yourself to try Serovital for 30 days. It's absolutely risk-free.
Serovital is a true scientific breakthrough, 20 years in the making.
Get the facts at myserovital.com. Supplies are limited. Call 1-800-298-6193 or go to myserovital.com for your risk-free trial today.
I really want there to be a venue where people who are trying to make a difference can have a voice and have a place to talk about their passions. Weather, climate, environment, technology, science. They're the topics of our lives right now. So let's talk about it.
At The Watershed, we believe in recovery. We believe that every alcoholic and addict deserves the opportunity to be healed. Our team of addiction professionals will address the underlying causes of your addiction while treating you with dignity and respect. We've helped thousands of patients recover from this seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Addicts can recover. Addicts do recover. No matter how hopeless the situation seems, the time to get help is now. Call The Watershed today.
Floyd doesn't believe he can get his taxes done for nothing. So we brought in Dr. Kaku to explain what we mean by nothing.
It means it's free.
Intuit TurboTax.
The delicate skin on your neck can show age. Or not.
New Gold Bond Neck and Chest Cream helps improve texture and increase elasticity. 97% had visibly firmer skin. New Gold Bond Neck and Chest for visibly firmer skin.
When the going gets tough, the tough keep pulling.
All new episodes of Highway Through Hell, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Yeah!
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear. Low 53. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny skies. High 71. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 56. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Now this is causing a lot of double takes. This is the headquarters for Alaska's Iditarod dog sled race, but something is missing.
Snow. You don't see it there. Only a little covers the ground in Anchorage as well, and that's causing big headaches for those planning this year's race.
Now, traditionally, the Iditarod has its ceremonial start in Anchorage. Then teams head somewhere else to begin the 1,100-mile race.
And this year, though, they had to move the start of the race because of a lack of snow. And something else is actually in jeopardy.
You know, our real challenge right now is trying to figure out whether we've got adequate snow to make Anchorage and the ceremonial start happen. So that's the more immediate challenge.
Those planning to take part in the March 5th start of the race are getting their dogs ready regardless of the starting spot. Local media now reports that officials plan to start the race in Anchorage and restart it in Willow. That decision made today. Bonnie shows us if any snow is in the forecast.
That's right. It's been so unusual in Alaska because temperatures have actually been warmer here than other parts of the U.S. further to the south. So right now we have 0 degrees in Fairbanks, Alaska, and the Iditarod is likely to start north of Fairbanks, about 75 miles north of Anchorage, where it normally would start, because there just isn't enough snow to maintain that race. So looking at the forecast for Anchorage, the average high 26 degrees, but temperatures are going to be well above that, all the way into the 30s, 33 degrees by the time you get to Monday. And then we start getting a little cold Friday, but it shoots right back up. It's really been an interesting place to be in Alaska. Record low snowfall both in December and January for Fairbanks and for Anchorage. They need some snow. We're getting it, though, in other parts of the country. Right, Dave?
Yeah, but not in Death Valley, California. You know, another kind of atypical weather right now is the blooming, literally, at Death Valley National Park. Now, we have heavy rain and flash flooding last fall, along with moisture in January, to thank for what some are saying could be a super bloom. And this is why you should consider checking it out.
If you get a chance to see a bloom in Death Valley, especially a super bloom, you should take the opportunity to see it, because it could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You have to have just the perfect conditions. You never know when it's going to happen, and you never know when you're going to have the time to go out there. So if it happens once a decade, are you going to be able to do that? So it's a privilege to be able to be here and see one of these blooms, because very few people get to see it, and it is incredible.
How beautiful are those images, huh? Perfect weather to view the blooms, too. Very warm in the west. Boy, not just Anchorage that's warm. Look at Vegas at 68 already, 82 in Phoenix. We've been breaking records here every day. I mean, you don't hear about it on the Weather Channel so much because of the cold and the snow further east. But 62 Albuquerque, 78 in LA. That's one of the coolest readings this week at this time of day here in Los Angeles, and we're already above average. We've had a ridge of high pressure sitting over us. Notice the snow on the ground up here, huh? But that's beginning to break down just a little bit. We have a little more onshore flow, but still, it is very, very comfortable. Highs tomorrow, 82 LA, 87 Phoenix. Bonnie?
That is hot, and the warmth may sound like a dream to the eastern half of the country. That's because winter rules on the way, where the snow is falling on the coast right now, plus a new winter storm sets up for the weekend. Stay with us.
If my hands are dried and cracked, I can't do my job efficiently.
My hands are dry from washing my hands lots of times a day.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry, cracked hands.
O'Keefe's works.
I saw it working for my husband, and I knew I had to try it.
Learn more at O'Keefe'sCompany.com.
Don't let the cold damage your skin. Get O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry, cracked skin.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I will be out of the office until Monday and won't be checking voicemail during this time. I'll reply just as soon as I get back to work.
Sail with Princess Cruises, the #1 cruise line in Alaska. Limited Alaska fares from $6.99. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises, come back new.
These little guys, they represent blood cells. And if you have AFib, an irregular heartbeat that may put you at 5 times greater risk of stroke, they can pool together in the heart, forming a clot that can break free and travel upstream to the brain, where it can block blood flow and cause a stroke. But if you have AFib that's not caused by a heart valve problem, Pradaxa can help stop clots from forming. Pradaxa was even proven superior to warfarin at reducing the risk of stroke in a clinical trial without the need for regular blood tests. And in the rare event of an emergency, Pradaxa is the only oral blood thinner other than warfarin with a specific reversal treatment to help your body clot normally again.
Pradaxa is not for people who have had a heart valve replacement. Don't stop taking Pradaxa without talking to your doctor. Stopping increases your risk of stroke or blood clots. Ask your doctor if you need to stop Pradaxa before any planned medical or dental procedure. Pradaxa can cause serious and sometimes fatal bleeding. Don't take Pradaxa if you have abnormal bleeding, and seek immediate medical care for unexpected signs of bleeding like unusual bruising. Pradaxa may increase your bleeding risk if you're 75 or older, have kidney problems, stomach ulcers, a bleeding condition, or take certain medicines. Side effects with Pradaxa can include indigestion, stomach pain, upset, or burning.
Don't just go with the flow. Go with Pradaxa, the only blood thinner that lowers your risk of stroke better than warfarin and has a specific reversal treatment. Talk to your doctor about Pradaxa today.
Americans, we're living longer than ever. As we age, certain nutrients become especially important. From the makers of One-A-Day 50 Plus, One-A-Day Proactive 65 Plus, with high-potency vitamin B12 and more vitamin D.
You found the love of your dreams, and together, you had the kid of your dreams. Now you can put them in the car of your dreams for a lot less than you might think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can enjoy legendary safety, innovation, and performance at a price you can afford. And that's a pretty sweet dream. Visit the certified pre-owned sales event now through February 29th, only at your authorized dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
One day, a rider made a decision. The decision to ride on and save money. He decided to save money by switching his motorcycle insurance to Geico. There's no shame in saving money. Ride on, ride proud. Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
It's amazing out there to me means, just the beauty of what is around us. A beautiful sunrise, waves crashing on the beach, enjoying that first snowfall of the season, watching a tornado spin in the plains of Oklahoma. To me, that's what it's amazing out there is.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 53, winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny skies, high 71, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low 56, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by California Walnuts.
What makes this the best simple dinner ever? Great tasting, heart-healthy California walnuts. So simple. Get the recipes at walnuts.org.
This is your blizzard. Now we need this for 3 consecutive hours, but we've got winds gusting upwards of 45 to 50 miles an hour.
thunder. Oh, there went the lightning.
This is a legit snow squall.
This is worse.
Oh my gosh! Woohoo!
It really felt like a springtime storm was blowing through, with the exception of it was cold and not rain. It was snow.
It's too warm for hot drinks this morning.
I definitely love the warm weather, and I'm glad we're breaking temperatures, and I just hope it stays for a while.
That's the kind of snow it is. It's light, it's fluffy. It's wonderful. Okay.
Everybody getting in on the act, you know? Mm-hmm. It's fun. I think snow brings out the kid in all of us.
It does.
Well, it's half past the hour on Weather Center Live. Good to see you. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Bonnie Schneider. Well, the week began with snow from a winter storm.
And as the week draws to a close, we've got more snow. Now, that includes along the Carolina coast.
And joining us now is Steve Abbott with the North Carolina Department of Transportation. And we can see the snow, Steve, on a lot of our beach cams out there. How prepared do you think North Carolina is for this snow event?
Well, we knew ahead of time that it was coming this way, so we spent most of yesterday putting out well over 100,000 gallons of brine just in the coastal area and the northeast part of the state to get the roads prepped for any ice or snow that might come down.
I've noticed that there have been reports of a couple of cars that have spun out onto the shoulder of the road, Highway 17 near Washington in North Carolina. What else have you heard about?
We haven't heard anything too bad because really we haven't had a lot of snow get on the ground as of yet. When there's about an inch or so, we'll send the plow trucks out, and also we have salt and a salt sand mix that can go onto the roads to hit the slippery spots.
You know, the mountains of North Carolina obviously very used to getting snow, but when we're talking about it in the eastern part of the state, what are some of the challenges that you face there?
Well, first of all, the people out there aren't as used to driving on this stuff, the slippery stuff, as others. And also, we don't have as much in terms of equipment and supplies because they don't get snow out that area very often. So sometimes we do have to send some folks down that way to help them out.
And what is your plan going forward over the next 6 to 12 hours?
Well, we have a bunch of crews out now. We're getting ready to go out, and it's going to be a 24-hour operation. Yeah. Another group of people will come in late tonight, and then they'll work through the night. And then the group that's in there now will come back in the morning, and we just keep going till the roads are clear.
Well, thank you so much, Steve Abbott from the North Carolina Department of Transportation, for joining us. Dave has a little bit more on the snow that is falling. Dave?
Yeah, Bonnie, here's the storm that Steve was just talking about along with us. And as you can see, the snow is tapered off to just a flurry or two in Raleigh, but it's now northeastern North Carolina and then the tidewater of southeast Virginia that are taking the brunt of this kind of mini snowstorm that's going to be gone in a couple of hours, actually. It's been raining in Cape Hatteras, but up here, boy, it's coming down hard from Wilson on eastward to Washington and then up to Murfreesboro, North Carolina, and the Outer Banks north of Manteo. It's really something to see, huh? So this is hurricane country, isn't it? But not right now. We've got low pressure south of Wilmington. That's going to be moving out and strengthening, but it'll be moving out while it's strengthening. So good. And there we have it. We're going to have a dusting here in Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, and all of the Tidewater area. So there are going to be some slick spots, bridges, and overpasses there in particular. Temperatures running about 27 to 31. So a lot of what's falling is sticking. And as Steve Abbott just told us from North Carolina, you know, there's not much snow on the ground. But how much snow does it take for you to make one turn a little too fast and you're slipping off and you're on the shoulder someplace? Hopefully all four wheels on the ground. So let's be careful till this thing's out of here and even after it's out of here, because by the time it ends, it's going to be dark and the temperatures will hold in the 20s tonight. So any moisture left on the roads will be frozen. We could have a black ice threat, so please be careful. Now, Carl Parker is joining us from the lab. Carl, yesterday we were talking about snow and ice and rain from this next big storm. What are the main threats now?
Well, I think those are the main threats. We're going to be talking about a fair amount of snow for parts of the interior Northeast, right up the spine of the Appalachians. We'll be talking about a lot of ice potentially, particularly in North Carolina and Virginia up the 81 corridor, also into parts of central and eastern Pennsylvania. And we're going to outline all of that here in a moment. But first, we're going to see a littler system, a weaker system come through the upper Midwest, a little clipper as we call it. So snow will begin to break out across the northern plains tonight and then pick up in intensity, we think, tomorrow morning there across the Twin Cities, down into the Quad Cities, La Crosse, Rochester, Springfield, Chicago, all these areas getting in on that on Sunday morning, and that continues then to move over through the lakes in the Ohio Valley. So not a lot of snow out of this. We're thinking broadly about 1 to 3 in a very large area, maybe more like 3 to 5 across parts of Minnesota and also into Iowa. Now, the next thing we're watching, and we were talking about this yesterday, is this very powerful area of upper level pressure and jet stream coming in across the Pacific Ocean. That energy is now directed towards the west coast, sitting right in there, and it's going to come across into British Columbia and then dive down through the middle of the country and help to induce an area of low pressure, which is eventually going to get fairly strong. What it's going to do initially is grab moisture and take it up and over top of colder air at the surface. There is question about just how much cold air is going to be available, and then as it lifts up into the Northeast, we're going to find wintry weather developing where that moisture and cold air intersects across a lot of the mid-Atlantic region and also the Northeast. But it's going to be rain right along the coast. It's going to be a fairly mild system. So there is Sunday night. Some problems starting to break out in Tennessee, maybe North Georgia as well. Again, there is a lot of question about just how much cold air is going to be available in Georgia and South Carolina in particular. So it may be that we get a little bit of freezing rain in the Atlanta metro, and then it quickly changes over to rain. But there could be quite a bit of freezing rain farther north up through that 81 corridor. That's going to go into Monday night. And so a lot of problems there, and that's going to extend also up into Pennsylvania as well. Bonnie, over to you.
Thanks, Carl. We'll be watching for that snow. But what about temperatures? It's also going to be dangerously cold in the southeast. You wouldn't know it by looking at conditions in Mississippi or New Orleans or even Atlanta right now. Our numbers have surged all the way to 63 degrees. It's not going to stay that way. It's not all going to be like spring, much more like it is winter. So our forecast for Valentine's Day morning takes us down to 24 degrees in Atlanta. That's it. 19 in Knoxville, 22 in Nashville. And for Monday morning, for President's Day, we'll hit the freezing mark, but that's about it. Montgomery, Alabama, 40. Starting off cold there as well, and into Columbia as well as Charlotte. So temperatures will stay into the 20s. Let's take a look at the forecast for Atlanta. Looking at the average low, 37. So normally we're well above freezing this time of year, but notice these numbers down into the 20s, right at freezing, and then eventually getting milder. We are going to see this period of cold air not last very long. It will warm up, but it's going to take a couple days to get there. And the timing isn't great with it being Valentine's Day weekend and President's Day. A lot of people are off. Raleigh, a little bit better in some regard, but not really when you look at that low temperature of 15 on Saturday night. Valentine's Day morning, if you're in the Northeast or Southeast, you're waking up to chilly temperatures. Dave?
Well, parts of the South may be cold and facing snow or even ice from the weekend into early next week, but another part of the region faces a different threat. Severe storms on the way. Why and where they will set up.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, Saturday, sunny skies, high 71. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low 56. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
At Safelite, we know how busy your life can be.
Oh, no.
This mom didn't have time to worry about a cracked windshield, so she scheduled at Safelite.com. And with Safelight's exclusive On My Way text, she knew exactly when I'd be there. Hi, Steve with Safelight.
Thanks for your text.
I replaced her windshield, and she didn't miss a single shot, giving you more time for what matters most. How'd you do?
We won.
Nice. That's another Safelite advantage.
So much.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead. Big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I looked at my options. Then I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, it helps pick up some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs.
To me, relationships matter. I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with them.
With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So don't wait. Call now and request this free decision guide to help you better understand Medicare and which AARP Medicare supplement plan might be best for you. There's a wide range to choose from.
We love to travel, and there's so much more to see. So we found a plan that can travel with us anywhere in the country.
Join the millions of people who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP, an organization serving the needs of people 50 and over for generations. Remember, all Medicare supplement insurance plans help cover what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call now to request your free decision guide and learn more about the kinds of plans that will be here for you now and down the road.
I have a lifetime of experience, so I know how important that is.
I've always been protective of my little sister. But when she got cancer, she was the strong one. She learned while she needed chemo, it could weaken my immune system. But then you found out about Neulasta. Right.
Neulasta helps reduce infection risk by boosting your white blood cell count, which strengthens your immune system. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease.
Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen. Ruptured spleens, sometimes fatal, as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, allergic reactions, puffiness in face or ankles, change in urine, swelling of stomach area, feeling of fullness, dizziness, or feeling faint to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
Ellie's strong, but she still needs help.
Yeah, I do.
Ask your doctor about Neulasta.
Carmex has been soothing lips for almost 80 years. And now our latest innovation, Carmex Cold Sore Treatment, blocks pain and itch on contact while it smooths and fills for a less visible sore. Try Carmex Cold Sore Treatment, voted Product of the Year. And for dry, chapped lips, try Carmex Lip Balms.
We're taking a live look now at New Orleans, where storms are possible next week. Looks okay at the moment. Temperatures aren't too bad.
How about 76 degrees for not too bad,
Ooh, warm. I like that.
Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes is with us because rather than sunny and dry, we're expecting the moisture to come back in here and set the stage for severe. What about it, Dr. Forbes?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. That moisture is really critical in measured in terms of dew points. That's the measure of the moisture in the air. And usually I think 50 is necessary. And there's going to be a big upper air system coming in by Monday. The question is, will we have those 50 dew points? Here's what it looks like right now. There's only New Orleans, really, that has even a 52 dew point. And then way down into Tampa, there's been a cold front that's driven very low dew point air down into the Atlanta area, for example. So it's probably going to be a limited window of opportunity. Here's a computer forecast for Sunday. And in fact, it may get drier between now and then because a big ridge of high pressure, the isobars represent that high pressure, and then the streamlines here, the little wind fleas, the air coming from the east here. So very dry air for for Sunday, all but Texas, and Texas doesn't really have the upper air forcing for thunderstorms. But let's see how that evolves then as we head into Monday. A little bit of moisture begins to return into Louisiana, and then a little bit into southern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. So with that low pressure evolving on Monday, during the afternoon we'll probably have the combination of heating and just enough moisture to get a few severe thunderstorms. Then it cools down overnight. Maybe as we head into Tuesday, the coastal Carolinas and parts of Florida will have enough moisture and instability and upper air forcing for a little bit of severe thunderstorm activity. That upper air disturbance comes in from the north, and by Monday afternoon, it gets to be quite a dip. Out ahead of that dip, that's where we get the surface low. That's what helps pull the moisture back in after it dries out a little bit this weekend. Up as far north as that stationary front. Could be a low-level jet in there, 50, 60 mile per hour wind. So up near that and just a little to the south of that will be probably where we'll get the severe threat. Southeast parts of Louisiana, southeast Mississippi, maybe parts of southern Alabama and over into the Florida Panhandle. At this point, I'm thinking probably the Florida Panhandle has the highest tornado threat, and it's only a 2 on that 10-point tornado index, tornado condition index scale. Watch that upper air disturbance come in. It's not the one that just comes blasting east in the jet stream. It's one that comes in from the northwest, but it has quite an amplitude to it. And as Dave will talk about in the forecast to come, it goes on to produce an East Coast, probably winter storm. Dave?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Forbes. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about. But first, I wanted to show you just a classic case of lake effect clouds. Look at this. We're zooming in on Lake Superior up here. There's Canada. Not a cloud in the sky up here. Not a cloud in the sky. But then what happens when the cold air blows across the relatively warm lake waters? All of a sudden, moisture is evaporated into the air. It's warmer down here than it is aloft. So the warm air rises. We end up with clouds. Cloud streaks. Look at how it takes maybe a few miles for those clouds to form as it moves off the coast of Canada. But then, boom, you've got lake effect snow clouds into the upper peninsula, lower peninsula, and northern Wisconsin. Just a beautiful example of that. And that, of course, is accompanying this Arctic shot that's coming southward from Canada right now. Temperatures are falling this afternoon in Milwaukee, and they're about to fall in Detroit as the cold front blows through. Meanwhile, here in the west, it's another warm one. Oh, sweet. But the ridge is beginning to break down just a little bit. We've got a little more rain. Salem, Seattle, Olympia here this afternoon, and more stormy weather out here. That's the one that's going to force the severe weather threat early next week that Dr. Forbes just talked about. Otherwise, tomorrow, another beautiful day in New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Gorgeous along the Gulf Coast, but that's the storm to watch. Low pressure develops east of the Rocky Mountains. A few showers possible, Dallas, Palestine, Tahlequah, and then up to St. Louis for some snow. Snow on Valentine's Day on Sunday, and then look what happens. The storm hits the East Coast initially as some snow changes back to rain as the winds come out of the southeast. Looks like a lot of rain on I-95. Bonnie, over to you.
Thanks, Dave. Well, there's the threat of a new winter storm that's coming up. We'll tell you about that minutes from now. Plus, a dangerous ride. The Anthem of the Seas slated to set sail again.
The City Double Cash Card comes in very handy with cash back twice. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn on purchases, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Moved into this? Make it look like this. Let's check out our options. Give it some style. Perfect. Now, let's detail it. Let's put our ideas to work and step into a new favorite room. Let's do this. Buy vanities in-store and online today, starting at just $139. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week. AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
Let me get you ready for the day weather-wise.
We've got a lot going on this morning.
Definitely see what kind of pattern we've had.
So start your morning routine with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, Jan Carfagna, and the rest of AMHQ.
It is a team here at the Weather Channel, and an awesome team at that.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 53, winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny skies, high 71, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low 56, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Where can you satisfy your craving for a delicious 100% Alaskan cod meal? Right here at Long John Silver's. Enjoy our tasty 2-piece hand-battered Alaskan cod basket, hand-dipped in our classic batter, now for just $5.99. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
Don't miss Founders Days at Pep Boys. Get 5 quarts of Castrol or Pennzoil conventional oil plus a Fram oil filter for only $9.99 after mail-in rebate. And when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th free instantly. Trust the boys to get you there.
Heartburn.
No one burns on my watch. Try Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. They work fast and don't taste chalky.
Amazing. I have heartburn.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
We brought you here today to get your honest opinion about this new car. To keep things unbiased, we removed all the logos.
Feels like a BMW.
Reminds me a little bit of an Audi. So this car supports Apple CarPlay.
Siri, open maps. She gets me.
It also has teen driver technology. It even mutes the radio until the seatbelts are buckled.
I'm very curious what it is.
This is the 2016 Chevy Malibu.
And it sells for?
It starts at $22,500.
What? Oh, wow. I mean, all this technology.
That's a game changer.
Why is it we love superheroes? And why is it we always put capes on them and make them fly? Truth is, some heroes don't fly. They drive trucks. And they show up when you need them most. Face your worst case scenarios and stay at your side through every step. When you don't know what to do next, we do. We're Service Master Restore, every disaster's worst nightmare.
For our patients with uncomfortable dentures, missing or broken teeth, dental implants, and fixed bridges are a fantastic solution.
I never realized how self-conscious I was about my smile until I started looking at old photographs, and I realized I never show my teeth. Now, I can't wait to show off my smile. I feel like I can be myself, and I'm someone that likes to smile.
Call us today at 1-855-SMILE-NOW. Convenient locations in Stewart, West Palm Beach, and Jupiter. It's your time to smile now.
Hey, how's it going? Hotcakes? Hotcakes.
This place has hotcakes.
Hotcakes.
So why aren't they selling like hotcakes? With Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi Pro, they could be. Just add a customized message to your Wi-Fi Pro splash page, and you'll reach your customers where their eyes are already, on their devices. Order up. It's more than just Wi-Fi. It can help grow your business. You don't see that every day.
Introducing Wi-Fi Pro. Wi-Fi that helps grow your business. Comcast Business. Built for business.
When the going gets tough, the tough keep pulling.
All new episodes of Highway Through Hell, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Yeah! Earlier this afternoon, lots of white fluffy snow in Knoxville, Tennessee. Look at that, covering the trees. Looks really pretty, but it is sticking to the roads, so that's going to make travel kind of treacherous. You can see it's coming down pretty heavy and hard in the Knoxville area. Well, more than today's snow is on our radar. Storm specialist Carl Parker's in the lab with Dave to talk about what could be our next named winter storm.
And you know, at this point, some people are saying, damn, it's cold. You know, I can't take it. And you're telling me the coldest day of the season is yet to come?
Yeah.
Well, this is cold air damming, if you will, but it's not, this is scientific damming. This is physical damming, right?
Right, yeah.
Tell us about it, Carl.
Well, so this is the classic case of cold air damming in the eastern part of the U.S. This also happens in the west. But in the east, what happens is you get high pressure centered over the northeast, the mid-Atlantic region, maybe Pennsylvania, somewhere around there. And what that high does, because there's a big clockwise flow around that high, is it drives cold air south. And as the cold air is being driven south, it's also being hemmed in by the topography, and so it stays just east of the Appalachians.
So the cold air is heavy.
Yes.
It sits low.
Right at the surface, exactly.
And the Appalachians are not that high.
No.
But it's a high enough barrier to keep this cold, dense air from crossing over.
Exactly. It might only be a layer that's 1,000 feet deep, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even less in some cases. So that cold air is being driven down, and as long as the high is in that position, it will continue to drive that cold air down, right down into the area, and that's really important because that's the classic case. So even if we get some rain coming in, and over top of that, we're still driving the cold air in, and that's how we get freezing rain. The rain falls into that sub-freezing air, and we get freezing rain. So that happens all the time in the Carolinas in the wintertime. Now, you've got another case that is the non-classic setup when your high pressure is moved farther off to the east. So you've already driven some cold air down east of the Appalachians, but you're not doing it now. So you're not getting a fresh supply of cold air coming down east of the Appalachians, but the air is already there. It's already cool and it's already dry, and the dryness is really important because as the rain comes in and the rain falls into that dry air, it starts to evaporate, and the evaporation cools the air, and it cools it to the point where that rain can then change over to a mixture of precipitation, maybe freezing rain or maybe sleet, depending on exactly where you are. So what we are going to see most likely coming up this weekend is a combination of those two things, a hybrid between the classic and the non-classic setup. And the bottom line is that we are likely going to get a pretty good bit of freezing rain developing here across the southeast, North Georgia, and also into the Carolinas. And we'll talk more about that at the top of the hour.
Very interesting. Classic and non-classic cold air damming.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Cool.
Carl Parker, our storm specialist. Over to you, Bonnie.
Thanks, Dave. Well, right now, the Coast Guard is wrapping up inspections of the Anthem of the Seas after the cruise ship was battered and damaged by an intense winter storm. The ship is supposed to head back out to sea tomorrow, but as our affiliate WNBC in New York found out, there may be more damage to the ship than earlier thought.
While the superficial damage was obvious, as we saw in videos like this, a picture shared with 4 Investigates by one passenger shows more. Look at the wakes behind the ship. Only the left propulsion system is powering the return voyage.
It's not functioning properly at the moment, and again, our team is on board, working through that to make sure it's functioning properly before the vessel is allowed to leave.
Worrisome news, of course, for the thousands planning to depart this Saturday, like Richie Trax, a photographer with NBC.
My wife's been on the phone trying to get another cruise ship out of Florida, but it's last minute.
It's a 39th anniversary cruise for the couple, the week's vacation already scheduled. The Coast Guard tells me every important function of this ship is being examined, from life-saving to structural integrity to fire suppression, and now the propulsion system that kept it from returning at full speed. As for past and would-be passengers, there is frustration.
All the technology that we have these days, why would they try to sail into a storm?
Royal Caribbean, in apologizing, says this won't happen again. It is changing its foul weather rule book. The question now, how serious is that malfunction in the propulsion system? That's what the Coast Guard is focusing on. And while it says that it will not release this ship before it is fully functional, it is hoping that all can be done so that the scheduled departure on Saturday can go forward. In Bayonne, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
There are weather concerns in the Northeast this weekend. Dangerous cold is one of them.
I've got my hot chocolate. I'm all set.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mainly clear, low 53, winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny skies, high 71. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low 56. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.